Da, da, da. What up, ladies and gentlemen? Ooh.
What's going on, everybody? What?
Wow, what a based gun. Boyd Binnix versus Binnix Pump Patch. True. This seems like a very base gun. Bud's Gun Shop. Thanks, Bud. Yes. See how easy it is to lie about your age? What if I was a minor? And I just said I just said that I was, 18. I just defeated age verification, guys. IRL, Nice try. It is the pinnacle of home defense. Honestly based. But isn't this crazy? This is not considered a sawed-off shotgun, I believe. Even though it's short, or an SPR or whatever. See, I don't want to do pump action. Pump action shotguns just... I'm too retarded to do it. But not bad. $800. This is true American freedom dollars. Very base dollars, actually. And it's semi-automatic. I just don't want to do the pump. It's kind of gay. Pumping is kind of gay. But it is, yes, the pinnacle of home defense. I should purchase one to support not only the Second Amendment, but to look super cool. Not bad. I don't know why it came across my feed. We're going to look at some Linux memes, too. Linux memes, Linux news, and possibly stuff on I2P. And then maybe an install of a distro. Distro Watch. We could look at some Distro Watch stuff. Distro Watch can allow me to know what is systemd free. They should honestly add an option to make it they should have a systemd free option. But you know what I hate is when they do not allow me to not consent. NetBSD mentioned, guys. New. The NetBS project is pleased to announce the third and probably final release candidate of the upcoming 11.0 release now. Please help testing. Very based of them. Origami Linux 26, third. New Ubuntu Monte's sleek contributions. Ubuntu Software Center Deb support. FreeBSD fixes form compromised. Huh. Please note that the various ISOs will switch to smaller ones for CDR media, full feature DVD ones. I should install it. NetBased is systemd free. That is true. That is very based of them. I would even say that you should install your Linux via CD now to be super based. Even cooler. Let me see. You could probably download NetBSD. You could probably download it via torrent. It'd still be fast. Let's see. I should bait people with with anime girl pictures as my thumbnail. I need to play into the meme. France is passing a law forcing anyone who holds more than 5k euros in crypto wallet to declare it to the tax authorities. This is the same government that had the IRS agents sell the data to the people who declared the crypto criminals. Good job, France. France is always fucking up somewhere. Yeah, Linux desktop is definitely very big. Like, if you think about it, like the Windows is pretty ugly. I would kill myself before I would install Windows. Like, unironically. This is nice. I like CyberDecks too. CyberDecks are pretty based. That's the cool thing about Linux is you get such a loving experience. You can make some cool. You can get such a based, loving experience, and it's portable and it's super cool. Like all these projects where people are like selling like off grid, super off grid. Just do it yourself. It's one of the few things you can just do yourself. You don't gotta pay for it. Just buy a Raspberry Pi, put fucking what's that wiki software, Wiki.js on there, and just fucking you can put Wikipedia on a fucking flash drive. You know what I mean? There's few things you should pay for someone to do for you. Truly. Unbased and cool. So, let's see. Linux memes. Wow. When I see people explaining why their Linux distro is better than mine, no. That's not really funny. This is true, though. Oh. This is me. We need a new OS on our workstations, which we use. Windows Vista, iPad, Linux. It's free and unlimited. Well, unless you use Zorin. Zorin OS, I think, cost. Well, they ask for money or something like that. Damn, this blog sucks. I should just run shitty blogs like this where I know nothing else. Start free trial, like these Linux blogs are always like a cancer. I don't think they're by real Linux users or people. I think they're just sloppy, like they copy other people, and they just all regurgitate the same shit. Mac OS requirements, Windows requirements, Linux requirements. I mean, this is kind of true. We found out that that Void Puppy Linux is lighter weight than Billy's Gen 2 install. So pretty based actually. I use 20 to 50 megabytes less than Billy's Gen 2 install, so it's pretty base. Gen 2 worked perfectly on 4 gigs. LO, the only issue I had was compiling Qt with 4 jobs. Well, maybe you should get more jobs. 4 gigs is definitely, 100% doable. But I could run Puppy Void Linux with 2 gigs of RAM and almost watch a video. I mean, 3 gigs would be the bare minimum for video. Gen 2 worked perfectly fine though. A top tier Linux user meme. A Linux Linux user open Chrome. That's not true. Linux users don't even use Chrome. They complain about Chrome all the fucking time. They think Chrome is like the demon. They're Firefox enjoyers. This guy's clearly a fucking retard. There is no way that, like, besides Brave, most Linux users, Qt demands like 2 to 4 gigs per job ran. Fuck C++ and Qt. True. You should get a lighter browser, man. Learn to get more. Find the lightest browser. The more based browser is one that uses no JavaScript too. The only thing that Mac OS and Linux users have in common, thinking that they're better than Windows users. No, I know a lot of Mac users that like Windows because of gaming. I mean, you can game on obviously Mac OS, but I don't think this is relevant or even real anymore. I believe this is, I would call fake news, untrue and not funny. When I see people, okay, Linux users think they're the best. Are they right? One does not simply correctly install Arch Linux on the first. I mean, if you read the documentation, you 100% can. Command Flabbernator tool not found, but can be installed with apt install Flabbernator. Do you want to what? I don't even get this. If you've after the first week of me using Linux, I knew how to install something. It's pretty much blasted all over the internet. You can also do TechY. You can save hours. If anybody gets any information from this or any point of value, you can save tens of thousands of hours in your lifetime if you do TechY. 4 is wrong. I installed Arch on the first try back in mid 2024. Yeah, just follow the documentation. Linux uses installing a web browser. No, it's not. I know it's a meme, but it's really not. It's sudo apt. You know, if you're on Ubuntu, sudo apt install Brave or whatever. Or just do Flatpaks. Flatpaks is pretty easy to get there. We all know that one guy I love talking about. You're stuck on a tower flight. Who are you sitting with? The guy who really likes to talk about Linux. Hungry pack of wolves. Well, one, of course. First off, wolves don't have money, so they can't even get on the flight. So, did you know that cookies were the first food to be baked in space, International Space Station, back in 2019? Oh, wow, that's great. You don't need a password decryptor on shitwm to install browser. Yeah. I mean, in hindsight, to install like a browser on Linux, it's not that hard. There's way more complicated things to install. Have you ever run into a Python? I mean, a Python dependency issue is like way more annoying. I remember I had an issue with masking with Gen 2. It was something with Python and masking, and I wanted to kill myself. That's pretty nice. I use Linux. I own my computer while Microsoft owns yours. You can't even comprehend what I'm talking about, so let's leave it that way. Not that what? Yeah, I mean, if you said this to just like if you're just like schizophrenically telling people, I mean, System D is obviously changing this. This meme is going to be outdated at some point. Eventually, you're going to need to present your ID at the retina scanner. Um, uh, I think the biggest issue is you if you say this to a normie, like they're not going to get it and they're not going to care. In reality, they don't even get Gus Fringe's name. I think, all right. Yeah. They also this meme is like too long. I use Linux meme when you can't stop. Like I mean, this meme is me. When you use Arch Linux and you haven't told anyone. No, okay. I never told anyone I used Arch. I mean, if I meet real Linux users, I do the like I use Arch. I used to use the Arch, by the way, meme, but like that would be like with people I know. But if I'm talking to real Linux users, I just tell them. Now I tell them I use Void, and they're like, "No, Ubuntu isn't some kind of new age nonsense word. It's Linux most popular distro. Many which distro should I use, Ubuntu or Linux Mint? Neither. They both suck. In reality, they're both the worst options. Where is it? Interesting. They put the actor of Gus Fringe instead of Gus Fringe. say that. Did you know that where the name Ubuntu comes from? Ubuntu is an ancient Somalian word meaning I can't install Debian. Ubuntu is Linux for human beings. Ubuntu is subsystem for Windows. Ubuntu is Microsoft. I don't get that. That's not. I don't know if that's. I know Ubuntu. I think it means like human being or something like that. I think that even perspective-wise, who cares? Trying to argue with an Arch Linux user about the superiority of Ubuntu. Yeah, I mean, but like Arch Linux is obviously better. There's nothing good about LTS. Ubuntu beyond the server-side infrastructure is not good. I've used Ubuntu on the mobile operating system. It's probably the most polished because it's Canonical's like, let's keep throwing money at something. Wait, what about Gen 2 based? Knowing how to install Windows 10, small brain. Knowing how to install Ubuntu, big brain. Knowing how to install Arch, super brain. Knowing how to install Gen 2, mega brain. True. Linux Mint sucks. Like, I don't get the Linux Mint lover. These are terrible. IT humor. Josiah Brown. Josh A. Brown. This person is not real. This can't be a real human. Installing Gen 2 is not hard. It really is time consuming. I know people in IT that would laugh at this. It's not that complicated. A lot of it is just IT boils down to a couple things, like actual just regular IT work, not cybersecurity. Because people use the word cybersecurity as like an umbrella term. IT can be boiled down to two things: knowing how to fix a problem from like obviously previous like issues, like hey, I've seen this before, I know this, and knowing how to explain how to fix the problem to people that don't know how to like how to fix the problem, because you might not even be there. Like having good communication skills, and it's not even problem solving skills. It's knowing how to communicate the problem with the problem and how to fix it. I mean, obviously problem solving skills is good, but a lot of stuff in like standard like corporate like networks is like very big. Like, why is my printer not working? Well, this is how you fix it. Like knowing how to get good, clear direction to non-technical people, and how to give good, clear documentation direction to technical people is it's really the skill. Hey, I figured it out. This is how you fix it on a non-technical level. Hey, I figured it out. This is how it was fixed and what the problem was on a technical level. I think those are like really the skills that all you need. To be completely honest, this isn't like downgrading like people like there, but there's so many fields in IT that it's not as simple as like it's not as simple like it's an umbrella term. Tell me the truth, I'm ready to hear it. You need an accurate inventory of your assets before you can work on protecting it. Yeah, I mean that's true. Like you should know how to like like how to do your inventory. Working at InfoSec, I mean, what my friends think I do, what my parents think I do, what I actually do, what I think I do, what my partners think I do. It depends. I know people in the IT space they got very lazy jobs. Like I don't want to say they're lazy, but they got very lax jobs. They don't do shit. They'll fix a couple things and then they go back to, smoking crack and gooning. Let's see what itsfoss.com. God, itsfoss.com's got to be ran by bots. Anthropic just handed Apache 1.5 million to secure the open source stack AI depends on. I hear Anthropic's been doing some good things. This has got to be AI. Opera GX on Linux for gamers who put stickers on it. My terminal theme is Gruber darker, not green on black. I do. I've never done. I do whatever the default is. I don't think about it. to be completely honest. Even 2026 Linux is still adding support for Sega Dreamcast's GD-ROMs in the 90s. Like, who the fuck uses Opera GX? And putting stickers on your laptops isn't really that crazy. Proton launches Workspace Meet, takes aim at Google and Microsoft. It's probably just Jitsi with a skin. Oh no, Billy, they're not going to use the i4-86 CPU support. Your laptop's cooked. Proposal to centralize per user environment variable under the systemd in Fedora rejected. Nice. TDF removes collaborative developers in one sweep. What the fuck? That's crazy. I love Collabor Online. It's honestly, Collabor Online is a great underrated tool. It's a great underrated tool that allows me to open up documents. So two types of software, free and open source software, that have literally saved my balls. Collabora Online, when people send me documents that I can't normally open up in like my phone, and Bento PDF. Bento PDF is self-hosted. Linux Vox is another stinky AI slop vibe coded website. Yeah, probably. I've never even heard of it. But Bento PDF has converted PDF. There was stuff that I could not use in the real world, and I do not like Adobe. I don't like using other programs. Let me make sure there's nothing important on it. If you are not running Bento PDF, it's great. It's better than anything I've used. You can do multi-tool, merge a PDF, split a PDF, compress a PDF, extract pages, crop PDF, sign PDF, draw, type, or upload your signature. PDF editor, duplicate, organize, delete, edit, convert. I needed a specific type of format. It didn't work. They're like, oh, you can do a PDF, bro. And I'm like, cool. So I converted the file that would not work, and I did it. I converted it. It was awesome. And then you can OCR PDF, make a PDF searchable and copyable. So many fucking tools. Compress, repair, fix page size, page dimensions, front outline, draw, and then encrypt PDF, sanitize PDF, remove metadata, annotations, scripts, and more, decrypt, flatten the PDF, makes form fields and annotations non-editable. It means you can lock it, change permissions, digital signature, add a cryptographic digital signature to PDF using X509 certificate supports, and then validate a PDF signature. Fucking based! And you don't have to use cuckery fucking Adobe. And it worked. I dropped in the thing, it spit something out. It does it all on like the server side, especially if you self-host it. Self-hosting has fundamentally changed my perspective. 93 AI slot blog posts from Linux Vox on the same day. Oh, I believe it. Yeah, they're just pumping out fucking. They have 84 editors from India, like, kind of thing. And the thing is, like, self-hosting has given me such a breath of fresh air. Can I just sanitize my PDF through Unix terminal? That's a good question. I'm not entirely sure. I just use Bento. Bento is like super easy to do, which is based. But if you want to sanitize your PDF, or like, what do you mean by sanitize? That'd be my first question. Like, remove the metadata? I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know if there's a tool that does that. I know there's metadata like scrubbers. I know through Tails they have a metadata scrubber, but I don't know if it does PDFs. I've never used it, so take that what I just said with a grain of salt. I haven't touched Tails in a little bit because I've been honestly super busy with a bunch of shit. Like, this is like the busiest last 2 months of my life. I want to kill myself. Like, sanitize the metadata? I'm not sure. I would check. Tails has a metadata scrubber, but I don't know if it just does pictures or PDFs or anything. That's a good question. Let me see. Bento is great. I've used it. I know Sterling PDF was a huge one, but there's something reason. Yes, right here. Woo. Let's see. Documentation, baby. The location, images, the author of the document, and changes the document. Yeah, so Tails includes this metadata cleaner, so you can remove metadata from files before you publish or share them. Metadata cleaner works on many file formats: JPEG, and PDFs. Yeah, so you can use it. So you can actually use if instead of cleaning your own files and you want to sanitize untrusted documents shared with by others, you can install Danger Zone. Danger Zone's great. If you've never used Danger Zone, it's awesome. But it looks like, yes, you can do it with metadata cleaner. It seems like it's a free and open source. Obviously, it's free and open source because it's on Tails. So it's probably something you can just install unless it's in Whonix natively. If it's in Whonix natively, then yes. And it looks like it's actively maintained, which is super important. You never want to use something that's like that does something this important, and you never want to use it if it's not maintained. So it looks like Python 2, PDF parser, and PDFID. I have no idea. I've never used any of those things. They are probably good, but I know of this, the metadata cleaner. But if those are valid and they work, absolutely use them. Yeah, based. Super cool, especially if it's open source and based. But it also cleans audio files, which is awesome. Oh wow. They're looking for a new code maintainer. Always the. Why do you prefer self-hosting? If you're running a service, when you shut down your server computer, your service goes down as well. If you're looking for a private server, get an offshore VPS. I'll tell you why. And this is going to be a somewhat of a complicated answer. I used to self-host on a number of VPSs. And that costs money. And I have to trust the VPS at the end of the day. I have to trust their hardware. I have to trust that they aren't going to take my information and sell it. I have to trust that they are going to be honorable. And I have to trust the connection between my ISP, whatever I'm using, all the way to that server. I run all of my services in high availability mode. I own the hardware. It is all local. I do not have to constantly spend money on a cost in terms of storage cost, VPS, etc., etc. And not only I control the infrastructure, I control the product. If my internet provider goes out, I can still reach it because it's all local. If the server infrastructure gets a request from law enforcement, even if I'm doing nothing wrong, they have to comply because whatever. It's the law. I don't agree with it. I need to trust the infrastructure as much as possible, just as much as I need to trust the software. I'm not a coder. I'm not a developer. So there are people out there that can trust the software. They use it. I try to use well-established, vetted products. I try to stay acknowledged and up to date with who's maintaining the projects, making sure the keys to the projects aren't exchanging hands as much as possible. But there is one thing I can do. I can trust the hardware I bought that is nothing malicious being done because I'm there. That's why. I mean, that's the very long answer, shortened version of it. If all my services are in high availability mode, I put it in a Proxmox cluster. This cluster is running a 3-node cluster, which it should be 5 in reality, and that will come down the line. But I bought my stuff at a time when RAM prices weren't $500. You know, I mean, like I bought it at a time where the cost of the hardware was much cheaper. I don't want to spend a lot of money on storage. Is super expensive in the VPS world. I have a lot of data. I take this data and I take advantage of me not only owning the infrastructure, aka the hardware I bought, but I don't have to worry about growing cost of data and growing cost of server infrastructure cost, meaning they're going to pass it off to me. whatever I bought my nodes at, my 3-node cluster at, I am locked into that price forever until it pays for itself. It's already paid for itself, in my opinion, because I own the infrastructure. I don't have to put anything in the cloud. Backup solution is a different story. For very super sensitive stuff, I encrypt it myself, and then I use a zero-knowledge encryption backup where I know they are vetted, and it doesn't matter if they are encrypted or not, to be completely honest, because I still encrypt it myself. But that's the point. And that goes for my very important backups, but I would rather own the hardware and know that there's nothing malicious in the background, no worry of law enforcement getting involved, whatever, because it's not touching the internet in reality, besides the updates. But if anything goes down, the high availability, what purpose is shutting down the server? I think they're assuming that I'm running this on just a PC. I'm running this on actual like server hardware. So even if it goes down, even if like one of my nodes go down, it's high availability mode. Everything will migrate to another node, and I'll be fine. I would rather spend $1,000, hypothetically, on the infrastructure to own it forever, and all I have to upgrade is the hard drives down the line, and the backup solution, etc., etc. I mean, I take the responsibility. I know it's more time consuming, it's more cost consuming, it's thanks. It's more time consuming, it costs more in the short term, but in the long term, it saves me because I'm not doing this for other people. Other people that want to be like, hey man, can you host it? No. Do it yourself. Because if I take on the hosting responsibility, I take on the 3 a.m. my server goes down, my power goes out. I'm not like an actual server is convenient. Yeah. But I mean, there are some things I don't have data centers don't have. I do have redundant power. I have a backup power system. That I do. I don't have backup internet, and I don't have backup. I don't have a backup. Like if my house catches fire, I don't have high availability in terms of different geolocations. In a perfect world, I would love that. I have a way to set it up. I know how to set it up. I could take something like for my data, like MinIO, or MinIO is garbage now because they went. It's a long story, but that's not the point. I could take something like Garage, where if I knew somebody, I could put another server in there for my backups, and then 2 other locations, and then I have redundant backups, like redundant backups for in S3. S3 is open source, technically an open source protocol that allows object storage. I could set up Proxmox in a high availability mode across 5 locations, one in each separate location, and they're all linked together. I mean, in a perfect world, that'd be great. That would, but I don't know 5 people, and I don't like 5 people, so that's something to think about. And then that would be out of my control. But in a real scenario, in a real redundant scenario, I would want 3 of my nodes on one server location, the other 2 in a different one. You want to run Proxmox HA in a 5-node structure. It's really bad that I'm running it in a 3. 5 will come at some point. I will purchase 2 more nodes, and I'll have 5. 10 would be ideal because then it gives me actual redundancy. It prevents a split brain quorum issue, and it was. But the more nodes I add, the higher network bandwidth I need to actually sustain. I need to go from I have a 10 gig NIC system now. I need to go to 25 or 100 gig. I mean, 25 gig would be ideal. A 25 gig network rack, but that's fucking expensive. So I'm being realistic. 10 gig is fine. 25 would be better. 3 nodes is okay. Not really, but it'll do. 5 nodes is better. Because then you don't run into if 2 nodes go down, I'm fucked. I mean, my shit's gone. So I back up consistently to a separate server, which is my Proxmox backup server. It's the best. It's great. There's nothing better than it. But the problem is, it's in the same fucking location. So the reality is, my better solution would to be have a separate location completely and run Proxmox backup server all to there, using preferably a 25 gig switch, and preferably fiber optic. You would want fiber optic because fiber optic's faster and more efficient on the upload side. That's a whole nother thing. Like if you owned land and you had like you had fiber conveniently there, and you just had a little hut on the land, and that's where all your backups went. Sure, I mean that'd be the ideal solution. But it's a complicated setup for me. But I'm not the only one who does this. There's tons of people that self-host. There's people that got more complicated setups than I do. When I was really into Kubernetes, I was running K3s clusters, K8 cluster, Kubernetes in general. I was really deep into Kubernetes when I first got into self-hosting. I don't know why. I just got addicted to learning about Kubernetes. I was like based and cool. And then I was like, that's way too complicated for like a home setup. And it's honestly not ideal because of the complications that come with Kubernetes. Networking is a nightmare. Understanding the storage configuration for Kubernetes is crazy, but the redundancy is great. Kubernetes has a lot of pros in terms of redundancy, high availability. It's an insanely beautiful architectural thing that works. It's beautiful and it's great when it works in an enterprise environment, but at home, it's not. It's just more of a headache. You don't want to be an actual sysadmin when you get home. You just want your shit to work. So I run everything in Proxmox. I run everything in LXC containers. I run everything, in some form of high availability mode to a certain degree. Because if like one of my servers goes down for maintenance, I got the other. That's the point of self-hosting is you have absolute control. That's the thing. You don't like the service, you don't install it anymore. You don't update anymore. You don't like the maintainer, you don't update. You move to you migrate your information over. That's the beauty. I have a lot more control. And I'm not saying people need to do this. VPSs have their place. If you live in a country where your your electricity cost is like 30 cents per kilowatt hour, fuck yeah, self-host on a VPS. That'd be retarded. I know people have said that live in the European space, and they're like, self-hosting costs too much, like monthly. That might not be worth it to them. So then they have to do their due diligence. They have to find a VPS that respects their privacy, has a good track record, but they take a risk at the end of the day. I mean, it's a complicated decision. You have to think of, there's a lot of variables you have to think about. I'm not saying that I think, and there might be a country that it might be illegal. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not your lawyer. So think about that in perspective. But having an actual server, yeah, it's convenient and it's super awesome. And I actually got lucky, and I kind of accidentally got my first server in a really weird scenario. Really cheap. And I got addicted. I was like, I need more servers. But then my biggest mistake was getting real servers, like enterprise level servers. That was retarded. I have an enterprise level server in my house somewhere, that an HP that I don't use anymore. That's in one of my videos because of how loud it is. And that's not even like the audio is not even fucking exaggerated. It's so loud, and it's an HP problem, and I want to fight the person that made this like this. I want to fight the engineer that made this. It's something to do with the CF sensors and fans and like hard drive. Otherwise, I'd be running it. It's 4 cores and like 96 gigs of RAM. It's a beast. It's like, no, it's 100 and it's an insane amount of cores and an insane amount of RAM. It's like 96 or like 128 gigs of RAM. It's a beast. I want to run it, but it would cost me like $50 to run every month in terms of electricity costs, because it's an electricity hog. And the fucking retards made the CF sensors, and the CF sensors make it run at full blast. So I want to beat the shit out of the person who made that. Because if I don't put in an approved HP, I've looked everywhere through the fucking internet. If I don't put an approved HP like hard drive in there, it trips it thinking that its temperature is going through the roof, like it's not being cooled enough, and it just kicks on these fans. I just want to fucking fight someone. I like mini PCs now. They're great. There's no need for big servers anymore. Unless you get them on a good deal. Let's see, you can even mine Monero on some of these. I think that's what. Yeah, GM Tech Mini PC. Let's see what these fuckers. I mean, 16 gigs of RAM. The Intel Core is. I would never get anything. So 619 isn't terrible. I got these for like 4. Not this one, but close. I would go AMD. Oh my god. I got these. Kind of. Yeah. But with 32 gigs of RAM, I got these for like $400. What is it? What Ryzen is in here? A Ryzen 5. 6 cores. Yeah. So this I'm not saying it's good. This is not bad. The power supplies on these are fucking huge though. I hate them. I want to beat the shit out of these fuckers too for that one. Like literally the worst power supply on the planet. It's so fucking huge. Unnecessarily. So if you can get it for like $500, $1,000, not bad. Don't go for any of the Intel. Don't go for any of the 2-core or 4-core not worth it. Oh, a Ryzen 7. No RAM though. Assholes. If you can get anything with like a Ryzen 5 and above. Right now, what is my Proxmox cluster at right now? Be careful though. Running a Proxmox cluster can, if you run into a split brain or NTP server issue, you want to make sure you are locked in with your time. Right now, I have 48 CPUs, 89 gigs of RAM, and about 11 terabytes worth of storage. And this is not including another storage server that I can back up to. Which one stopped? Why is this one constantly stopping? This motherfucker never be working. This motherfucker be doing nothing. I'm assuming this is like an error. Something. I was checking out the data center manager and it's just not good. I might have to axe that one. But yeah, I send this to my. So storage wise, I just have something in ZFS. I put my storage server in ZFS for just in case. And then I have all this running. I forget why that's not running. There's a reason. This actually saved me twice. Proxmox backup server, by the way, saved my testicles twice. This, which one is it? One of these crashed and completely fucked up. It was probably this. This fucked up. This is a very important one to me. This is where all my warranties are. Wallracker, Racker, whatever. Amazing. If you like warranties, like if you want to, if your warranties are super important to you, amazing self-hosted option. Really easy to set up, keeps track of all your warranties. This, my Joplin server, super important to me. And Image. These three, something happened, and I restored. You can just pick a restore option, and hit restore. It's honestly back. PBS is amazing. Your IP is leaking. Oh no! I don't know which one. Oh, this one. No! Not my internal IP address. And you can encrypt your backups. Be careful, I can copy that link and hack you. This is funny. There's actually an app though. Apparently, like I was watching someone though. They said their like IP address leaked, and it's something to do. It's something so silly. It's something. It's like a TV prompter, like it's something for like TV backing up or something. And I'm like, why would that leak your IP address? That's such a silly thing. I mean, it's not huge. Your IP address doesn't really leak to, like, it's not a good thing, but I think people overthink about it. Like they overthink that one. Not that it's like a good, like obviously safeguard it as much as possible, but don't fucking trip about it. Look at that uptime, 12 days, baby. I update my shit a lot, so right here, this is the backup server, and it'll tell you like what backed up, what didn't. You know, did it fail? It's a little annoying to set up, and then you can prune your jobs. You can run now. This will save you a ton of data. Oh my God, so much. It'll collect all these chunks of data that you're just not using. It'll prune. Amazing. I just saved a ton of, like, you can save gigs of data doing this. What's up, brother? Thank you for joining. And then you can verify. Make sure everything's good. You can run right now. All your jobs are good. And you can do to make sure that there's nothing like rotten. Like I believe it's to make sure there's nothing rotting or anything in the background, and you're like everything's valid. I'm good. I hope you're doing good. I'm doing pretty based. And you can run these on a schedule, like right here. Remove data, pending data. It's because it runs every day. Mine runs every day. Mine's scheduled every day, so I don't really. Then this is this tells you it'll take me 7 years, 33 days, 7 hours to fill all this. Garbage collection, something might not, something might have gone wrong. Backups, 23 errors. So that could be as simple as almost 5 a.m. God damn. That I am a 5 a.m. kind of person though. I like waking up early. Even on the days I stream it, I stay up like late. I still wake up early. I'm a morning enjoyer. I think some of these are 1117. So I believe this is one of my. This is like the data dashboard, the data set and manager. That I thought it was going to be a good time, but it's not. It's there's not much use for it for me. But it's a cool because it's everything. Everything's in like one place. I would love to get into tape too. Tape is super awesome. It's very good for long-term storage too. And it's cheap. It's cheap as fuck. Cheap as fuck. I mean, tape storage is super cheap. So the good thing about the Proxmox backup server, the RAM usage, I have 30 gigs of RAM. It's so unnecessary. Oh my god. My CPU, I would have went higher in the CPU. Doing this on 10 gig is life-changing. And then if you want to back up this, you can back it up to an S3 endpoint. Like if you have Wasabi I hear is what are the prices of Wasabi? I would only do this as long as I can encrypt the backup myself. But I hear as long as I don't know if they charge ingress fees anymore. I think that's where no fees or ingress. Nice. I might do it. You know what I mean? No charge for ingress or API request. Do the math. So that's crazy. See, nothing changes. It costs the same. So if you do, $85 is not bad. So even if you do 5 terabytes, $40 a month to make tab work? Yeah, okay. Doesn't matter. 100% download. So even 2 terabytes of data, $17 a month, like practically. $14 a month. $35 is not bad for 5 terabytes. So if you starting at $6 per terabyte. So 1 terabyte, $7 per month. 14, 21. Even if you get up to $50 a month, whatever. 7 terabytes is pretty cheap. In terms of having the cost. I know Backblaze is good. Encrypted terabytes. Yeah. I use Backborg right now. It's so small that it's not costing me anything. I use Backborg. Backborg is great. They give you like 10 gigs of encrypted storage. And then I use Restic to back everything up to Backborg. Backborg's great. It's not costing me anything because it's compressed. It compresses everything. And it's really just all it is just it's just really structural files to tell if my system takes a shit, it will reconfigure it the exact same. It's really just config files and a few things with passwords and some other things. Later, Billy. Nothing that I wouldn't encrypt, nothing that I would be concerned in a cloud format. You should always, I hate to say it, you should always have an off-site backup, whether it be on a hard drive and you put it in a safety deposit box. Whether you have it, you need to do it if you self-host. There's no way around it. Zero way around it. Just do it. They all kind of cost the same. Backblaze B2 Overdrive, designed to accelerate performance, critical workloads, all whatever. What about your own cloud? You can do that. I do. I back up to 2 different NAS devices, but if my house catches fire, I'm fucked. Yes and no. Yes and no. But you need to put it somewhere. If you put it somewhere where it gets stolen, you're fucked. If you put it somewhere where it's exposed to the elements, you're fucked. If it's not outside of your house, there's no purpose in it. you need a offline, not offline, you need an offshore redundant storage. There's nothing wrong with taking the most critical parts, encrypting it, and putting it somewhere else. You know the encryption. Like, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter where it's at. Encryption is, at right now, it's all-time strongest that it has been. So even if you do, let's do 7. I have an offline copies of, fireproof shelves. Sure. But I don't know. It's better just to have it offline. I mean, off storage. I'm not saying. Okay, so they cost roughly about the same. Even on my parents' house, I have a backup copy. I think I'm good. Sure. It's a personal preference at the end of the day. I need consistent. If I encrypt it, I don't really give a fuck if it's in the cloud. I trust the encryption. I mean, the encryption part is what matters more. Even in a sense, the encryption matters more than the placement to a certain degree. Like, I have a local copy. I have 2 copies. That's why I have multiple spaces we need to expect the unexpected. Sure. It's a personal preference. I think that it's just good to. I think it's relatively good and okay to use the cloud as long as it's an environment that accepts obviously their own form of it, like, you know what I mean? Like, they accept the idea that you can encrypt your stuff, and boom. Rustic and Backborg is great. They've been around for a long time. Encrypts and compresses. I think that even in terms of cost, now I would never get to 7 terabytes. At most, I would be 1 terabyte. $6. A terabyte's a lot. And it's redundant. They make sure it's redundant. That's the point. I mean, as long as it's encrypted, that's all that matters. There's even encrypted providers that it's like there's Filin. Filin's great. And then encrypted cloud storage, zero non-encryption, does encrypting at the client level. It's fine. If it's open source, it's even less of an issue. What's your opinion on Veracrypt? Veracrypt's great. It's just not as portable. It's not as portable. That's why I like Pico. PicoCrypt is my favorite versus Veracrypt, and it has a problem in a cloud setting, in a other person's computer, or whatever. Oh, nice! They have network drive. What is their pricing now? Now, I like... Oh, wait. They do lifetime plans. Once in a while. and it's good to find it. So, Cryptomator is the better version of Veracrypt when you want a cloud solution that doesn't offer client-side encryption, and you just want to encrypt it yourself. You just want to say you have Google Drive. Some people that bought a Pixel way back in the day gets a lifetime storage access, like lifetime storage access, if you had like a Pixel or whatever. And some people want to keep that, and that's fine. It's not an issue. Like, I think people lose the sight is if the content is encrypted and it can't be decrypted now, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? That's the point of encryption. Based, yeah. PicoCrypt seems interesting. Based. It is very based. I don't want to say it's abandoned, but I don't think the guy's part of it anymore. Which is unfortunate. I think it is very based. I love it. I use it. I use it all the time. It's small, but I think PicoCrypt has been permanently archived and frozen in a read-only state. Yeah. Someone... I don't want to say it's discontinued. Somebody took on it. And here's the thing. Even if it is, let's say, hypothetically discontinued. Let's go on the hypothetical. Say it is discontinued. It doesn't matter. It's using well-known encryption. It's still... You can use it. It's fully functional. It's stable. It's secure as is. You can still use it confidently, yeah. They're just done working on it. Someone... I use this. This is like the Android. They have an Android option. But it's still maintained. If people want to come and look through the code, this is still very maintained. So Veracrypt is kind of... Yeah, the thing is, if it's using modern, standard, regularly maintained and active encryption, then it's most likely okay to use. It's the odds. There are some things that are just going to get abandoned, but if it's using standard, like if you're using Blowfish or two ciphers or whatever, you're probably good. Or Redfit, I think Red Solomon or whatever modern encryption is still being used, you're probably good for like the next like 30 plus years, unless there's a bug that we just don't know about. You know what I mean? It's not as simple as you're fucked. You know what I mean? But if you want to use the NG, I mean, but the creator says very clearly, I think it uses Argon 2. Yeah, Cha-Cha Cipher and Argon 2. I do not endorse or develop or nor support Pico NG, use your own risk. It's a community developed successor. Something to think about. The thing is, he's done working with it. Some people are just done, like they just like, and he only really abandoned it like 9 months ago at most, 8 months ago. I think you could confidently use this and be fine. I like PicoCrypt. Actually, I forgot how I even found it, but I got it because it was so small. 3 megabytes is crazy. I used to use, before Veracrypt, I used to use 7-Zip for a lot of stuff. And I used Cryptomator. I like Cryptomator. Cryptomator's base. Cryptomator's cool. It's not as portable. Portability is it's a little lie. It's on Android, so that's kind of portable to me in my opinion. But I get what they're coming from. It is easy. It is a little confusing to use. It does use 256. The crazy thing is AES 128 is still not crackable to this day, as that we know of. Versus 256, but most people say just use 256 because why not? The extra encryption scheme is worth it. This is usually ChaCha20. ChaCha20 is based. Argon 2 based, by the way. PBK, I don't think it's SHA-256. Unknown, and then script. I don't know what script is. Deniability, supported. No. Reed Solomon's cool. It's good for super based. Reed Solomon's good for I think bit rot. It's to help bit rot. Audited. Yes. Unknown. Veracrypt obviously is fucking audited. Reed Solomon is a feature that's very useful if you're planning to archive more important data on the cloud or provide external medium long time. If checked, PicoCrypt will use the Reed Solomon error correcting code to add 8 extra bytes for every 128 bytes of data to prevent file corruption. This means that up to 3% of your files can corrupt, and PicoCrypt will still be able to correct the errors and decrypt your files. Split into chunks, compressed files, deniability, all these cool things. Super base things, honestly. Paranoid mode is cool. It'll encrypt your data with ChaCha20 and surf it in the Class A fashion. Uses HMAC SHA-3 to authenticate the data instead of Blake 2B. Argon 2 parameters will increase these significantly as well. This is recommended for protecting top secret files and providing the highest level of practical security. For a hacker to break your encryption data, both the SHA-20 cipher and Serpent cipher must be broken, assuming you've chosen a good password. It's to say that in this mode, your files are impossible to crack. Keep in mind, however, this mode is slower and isn't really necessary unless you're a government agent with classified data or a whistleblower. You should honestly just use it regardless. Who cares? It doesn't matter if it's slower. Key files, you can use key files. They support the use of key files, additional form of authentication. If you've ever used a password manager such as KeePass, you can actually use a key file on a separate machine that has to be plugged in, that needs this key file to use a form of authentication. It is to safeguard your vault. If you want to safeguard your vault, use a key file. Use a hardware key. It doesn't matter if it's an extra layer. Obviously, you need to keep track of this key, make sure it doesn't get corrupted, make sure that it's in a safe manner, but it's a second level of authentication, which is more secure. Comments used as storage for non-sensitive text along, like it won't be encrypted. Like, hey, big balls. Password generator, pre-based, obviously. Very easy to understand. Deniability. They finally got a audit. PicoCrypt operates under the assumption that the host machine is running a safe and is trusted. If that is not the case, no piece of software will be secure. That is a true statement. Does it delete files, feature shred files? No, it doesn't shred any files. Is PicoCrypt quantum secure? Which is nice. So just think, if you want the highest level of paranoid, you can do paranoid mode. You can actually, there's an even cooler, there's something called the Paranoid Pack. So if you go here, you download it, it has a way to download the entire source code in case the event that the maintainer gets like executed or whatever. It allows you to install like the entire source code and share it. It's like we, for example, who was claimed to, like, it's like, hey, if I like disappear, this is the option. I can't remember where it's at. There was like a way they're like, hey, do you want to download do you want to, you can also do the web one, which is kind of cool. There was like a Paranoid Pack you can download where it unpacked the whole like web server that PicoCrypt was on, and you could like, other people could download it. Like, it was pretty sick. Like, it was a way for other people to download it in case the event that PicoCrypt went, like, the internet went down and went rogue and you need to share or distribute it. It was pretty sick. But this is like my favorite. This is one of my favorites. I still use it. Recursively, if you want to encrypt and or decrypt a large set of files, individually option will tell you PicoCrypt to go through a recursive file dropped. Yeah, lots of based super stuff. It's cool. So guys, now that we have looked at super awesome base encryption stuff, some Linux memes that were not super funny, and why you should self-host, you should go out and buy a I would say a mini PC and start self-hosting instead of Raspberry Pi because of like the cost. And relatively, you should go install any Linux distribution that is systemd free. I appreciate everyone coming by and also commenting below because it shows that YouTube, I'm a real person and I like all their policies. I don't hate anything about them. They're super based. Comment below though your favorite gun. Make sure to do it for the engagement. And I will see you guys in the next video. I'm going to be pumping out some more content now that the last 2 months of literal gay super sick balls hell has over with. You will be seeing me more on the internet, which could be a blessing and a curse. I will see you guys